Good morning, students. Our today's topic is story writing. In this session, we will talk about what is a story writing and how to write a story. A story writing is work of fiction or imagination that is usually written in easily understandable grammatical structure with natural flow of speech. Story writing is meant to be read at single sitting and therefore it should be as direct and brief as possible. Typically, story writing has five key elements. First is character, second is setting, third is plot, fourth is conflict, and fifth is theme. First of all, let's talk about character. What is character and how to choose a character in story writing? A character is someone or something that takes part in actions depicted in the short story or long story. It could be a living person, a dead person, a ghost, an imaginary character, a robot, a dog, a toy. Unlimited list. The golden rule for selecting characters in story writing is fewer is better. A short story or long story writing would more effectively convey its meaning if it has very few characters. One protagonist means main character, and one other main character, and no supporting or side characters would be ideal for short story writing. Now, what about setting? The setting is often decorated with description of scenes such as supermarket, bedroom, crowded metro train, or dazzling evening, again unlimited list. These descriptions are very important to make reader immerse in the plot. Unit of time frame may vary from hours to days, weeks to years. The golden rule in selecting time frame for story writing is keep it shorter. Story writing that has setting of few hours may typically be clearer and more effective than with setting of few months or years. Vividly describe surroundings. It must be absolutely clear and very importantly be appealing to five senses of your readers. Be poetic, use suitable adjectives, script dialogues, or even deploy side characters. Do whatever you need to ensure that the readers lives your story writing story while reading. Now, let's talk about plot. A plot has start, body, end that are linked subsequently by events and characters' action. In other words, we can say that plot is flesh and muscles of story writing. It comprises events and characters' actions. More creatively you describe and logically connect the events and actions, stronger the plot would be, and stronger the plot you create, better interest would it generate among readers. As I told you, plot has three parts start, body, and end. You must so choose a start that your reader get hooked to the story. Create confusion or question in reader's mind by first line of your story. Your reader must try to get answer from best of her ability and experience what he should finally end up digging into subsequent lines of your story. Now let's talk about theme. Central idea or main belief presented by a story writing is called theme. It is skeleton or frame of your short story that is decorated by plot, setting, conflict, and characters. These four elements are essential for theme. Basically, theme is the result of these four elements of story writing. So, story writing has five key elements: character, setting, plot, conflict, and theme. The narrative of story should be in first or second or third person, and story must be in past tense. Time, location, and atmosphere should be described. To create imagery, meaningful dialogues to be used. Dialogue should have expressions. Identify 2 3 main characters and a few side characters in the story. Plot of story should be interesting but short because the word limit should not be exceeded. Also create conflict and tension between characters of the story to grab the attention of the readers. These were the tips for story writing. Now let's talk about marking scheme for story writing. Title and moral is of 1 mark. Content of story means body, plot of the story. Content in which you have to write the story is of 4 marks, and expression of is of 4 marks. Now let's talk about the format of story writing. Take an example of one story. Here a question. Write a story in 200 and 250 words with the help of the clues given below. Give a suitable title to the story. Here is one example of story, and we have some clues. Going to Mumbai by train to attend the marriage of a friend dash dash dash, got stuck in a traffic jam dash dash dash, reached the railway station late dash dash dash, boarded a wrong train dash dash dash, realized after 2 hours dash dash dash, now you dash dash dash. Now these are the clues for a story. We have starting given in the question of the story, and now we have to create a story by our imagination by connecting all these clues by one another. To write a story, we have this blank page. In center of the page, in first line, we have to write a suitable theme according to the story. According to this question, I write this theme: a series of unfortunate events, and underline this theme or title by pen or pencil. After that, leave one line space, and from here you should start your story. Start writing your story from this line after leaving one line space, and your story in word limits. This is format for story writing.